weekly collectible giveaway on this channel, Big Card, and I wanted to make a video. This is something I've been thinking about. All right, so by the end of this video, you're gonna know the 10 best, in my opinion, YouTube channels, sport card related. I'm gonna let you know which channels they are my favorite, why, and what kind of stuff the content they have, and things that I've learned. I've learned some really top-notch secrets. Some really cool like little tricks when it comes to flipping. If you watch this channel, you know I'm new to selling cards. I sold my first card a few months ago, and I'm a long-time collector. I have videos on my Marvel statues. I have videos on my comic books, on my sport cards, different sports. I love all that. I love the hobby. I love collecting. Obviously, the things that I like, So these channels that I'm going to talk about, they're help me grow as a flipper, as a collector, because I was years away from this whole collecting stuff. So, okay, let's just get right to it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about each one, and then what I learned from them. And then obviously you can learn some, maybe some secrets or what have you. But then the whole objective is for you to add them to your rotation, your YouTube rotation. All right. So first, and this is not in no particular order. I just literally went through my my library of subscription on YouTube. Okay, so Market Movers, they have two channels. They have Market Movers, and I have notes down here. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. And so Market Movers and Sports Card Investor, that is the same channel. Jeff is the owner, and he has a business where it's an app, Market Movers app, where you can track sport card, you can track your collection when you build up your collection, and then you also can track just any random card. You can go back and see what kind of stats value wise has this card had in the past 6 months, a week, month, a year, whatever it is that you're trying to look at. So I learned about that tool, which I'm a paying member for that tool. A phenomenal tool. I don't know what the future is going to be with that tool, because eBay just announced that they're going to be coming out with the tool. So, and it's going to be free. I pay $50 a month for that tool. If you watch my content, I make videos using that tool. And I kind of just try to, because not everybody can pay $50. I mean, even for me, it's kind of like, man, $50 for this tool. So I try to, give out that, as much of that information as possible for free. So besides that, Jeff, the owner of the tool, Market Movers, and the channel and whatnot, he has talked about wax. You see, I never bought wax. I still haven't bought wax. I bought packs, but not boxes, sealed boxes. And he talks about how good of an investment it is. And it's something that I've really started to look into. And I'm definitely entertaining it. Just need a little bit of money. I spent a bunch of money on cards the past few months, so I need to pump the brakes a little bit on that. But definitely, when next time I get some cash, I need to do that. I need to get into buying wax, and then not breaking it, just leaving it and selling it in like 2 years when those rookies are really in high demand. All right, so what else? Also, Select. He put me on to Select, the brand. I like it. I like it more than Prism. I know I'm in the minority. Everybody likes Prism more. But me personally, I look at a Prism card and I look at a Select card right back to back, right next to each other. Not back to back, but side by side. And man, I just really love the Select brand, the way it looks. And then also the print run on Select is a whole lot less. And then you have the field level. You have the if it's basketball, it's courtside. You also have the premier level, and you have the concourse and whatnot. So you have the different levels where the print runs are different. You know, field level is the shortest print run. So for me, I'm trying to select field level. You know, if I can get a field level colored card, you know, I'm super ecstatic about that. But anyway, versus, you know, something else, you're not like another brand for cards. You really don't see that. I like the fact that you have a tiered system, you know, where, all right, our field level is the shorter run, you know, and you still have a base field level. I still can get a base card, but yet it's a shorter print run. I think it's cool. So I learned that from that channel. And then also Wax, what's it called? He calls it Breaking Wars. I've never seen anything like that where, and I think it's super cool. If you know, maybe one day I can do that. You know, if I have some spare boxes, I can do some Wax Wars. I think it's genius, super cool. It's where two people, each person they go to war, and you have a box. You open it and you start opening up packs. And then when you reach a card that you think is the highest valued card, and you can't go back and you can't go forward, you got to stick with that card. It's card by card. Then you have to stick with that card. Then the other person does the same thing. And then when that person has picked their card, you should both people reveal their favorite card, and then the winner, the card that has the highest value, wins all the cards. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's super funny, super cool. I love watching it. So I learned that from that channel. All right, let's keep it going. The Mangini Collection. Love this channel. I've seen tea cards, the cigarette cards. I learned about cutout cards. Goodness gracious, any type. I mean, he has so many different types of cards. I didn't even realize that there were so many different types of cards. Cards that you would cut out from different things. From, I want to say, like milk cartons and stuff like that, like bugged out stuff that I never even heard of. I love watching it because it's super cool. A lot of vintage cards and a lot of knowledge. I learned about Daryl Dawkins. I mean, I always heard the name, you know, but I didn't know the details. He's so kind enough to respond to my my comments, and he'll, you know, I'll tell him. Like, he put me onto Daryl Dawkins, how Daryl Dawkins was breaking backboards way before Shaq. I really thought Shaq was the first one, and I was wrong. So that caused me to go buy Daryl Dawkins rookie card. And then he also had recently a video with a picture that had the, oh gosh, what was it? I think it was the lowest ERA or win-loss ratio, the best win-loss ratio. I would have to go back. Go through his channel, the Mangini Collection. I mean, it's just tons of content that has a bunch of information that is just like, oh, damn, I didn't even know that. You know, it's just cool. Look, I have a love for the hobby, so that content, I eat it up. And he also does nunchuck tricks. The guy's nice with nunchucks. And something he does that's so cool. Card flipping. Like, he literally would take a card, like an old junk wax. He would throw it in the air, I kid you not, and the card would go 20 feet in the air. It's on camera. Goes 20 feet in the air, comes back like a boomerang, and he catches it. And he'll do it back to back. Amazing. I think it's like a magician. Okay, so keep it going. Sport Cards Daily is another show. Ziggy, and he goes by Ziggy, and he has a lot of just chill, laid back talk about this hobby. Very informative, and he doesn't pretend that he knows everything about the hobby, but he kind of, you know, in a group setting kind of a deal. I've seen him where he has a few people they're just all talking about sport cards, and he had a video that had me dying. He was warning everyone about repacks, and it's just he's very passionate about protecting the hobby, about protecting the players, the collectors and the flippers, just anybody involved in the hobby. He calls BS. He calls it out, bro. And so I really like that. I respect that. Absolutely. He's not in it for a paycheck and just to he's there for the love of the hobby. And it's quite it's apparent with the content that he produces. He's kind of like the Watcher and protected. It's kind of like how I view his channel of the hobby and on YouTube and whatnot. You know, he says, look, this channel right here is up to no good. They're in your pockets or what have you. I think it's a really good channel to watch. Man, I needed to pour some water. Okay, and I didn't. My glass is empty. And I'm only, so Sports Card Daily is number 3. Number 4, the Comeback Card Investor. All right, so crazy funny channel. By far the funniest channel, funniest YouTuber as far as sports cards are concerned. Man, he does practical jokes on, he cracks jokes on another YouTuber and stuff. It's funny. It's funny. Just his whole demeanor, and we've exchanged a very few comments in his threads and stuff. But hilarious cat. Super friendly. Like I said, he's responded to a few of my comments. So I definitely think that you should watch. He's a huge Tampa Bay Bucks fan, but he lives in LA now. He's like an actor. I'm not sure he's actively acting. I'm not sure about that. But just one thing I learned about him is he was doing kind of, what was it, about investing or money management. He was helping people with money management. Then he had, or he still has, his own business where he's kind of like a motivational person, and he can help you with your finances and whatnot. I don't know the details of it, but the point is, he says that he was just bored of it, day in and day out doing the same thing, and a mentor of his, and that's something I learned, and I admire. He has a mentor, and that's something I definitely, in my life, I look at in other aspects of business that I have. Having a mentor is extremely important. I have one, so in business. So I found that I have a kind of common ground with him where you want to do better in life and just live your life happy. It's not what brings you. It's all about what brings you happiness. And doing this was what brought him happiness. So that's what he did. So I admire that. So super cool channel. It's one of those channels. He eats like huge pieces of cake and stuff. It's a super dope channel. Okay, number 5, Sports Card Anonymous. Star Stock. I learned a lot about Star Stock. He always is showing his Star Stock and what he's doing, what he's getting into, what he's selling. So that's always nice to see. I do like. Sorry, I hit the camera. I do like Star Stock a lot, but I learned a lot from Sports Card Anonymous. Then he also put me on to My Slabs. He has like a video on My Slabs. He also has a Q&A with the CEO or something like that from some My Slabs. I haven't messed around with My Slabs, but because of that content that he has, I've been put on, and he has other videos about different platforms and whatnot. He's also an Astros fan. Through his thread, we've spoken about that. Also, vintage football, big into vintage football. He was talking about and bought a card of the first quarterback, or the quarterback that invented the forward pass. And dude, something I had no idea about. Much like the Mangini Collection channel, I've learned about vintage cards from this channel. Definitely recommend it. Super chill. He does have a live every so often. I forget, but definitely super cool cat. Definitely like it. Next channel is Neo, also known, or used to be known as Northeast Ohio. Now he just goes by Neo. And flipping I learned a lot about flipping from him, about not buying. Not being married to a card, not being tied to a card, buy it and being able to let go. Something I'm still working on, but just something that I learned about. I'm not saying that I practice it. And if you've seen my video where it's titled "Selling My $1 Million Sports Card Collection," if you go search that, if you haven't seen it, it's me and the whole debacle and struggle that I have. It's summed up in one video. I think it's definitely the funniest video on YouTube, you know. You gotta watch it. Anyway, so also one thing I learned from Neo is sell, and then if you really like the card, just buy it again. Sell it in the dip, and I'm sorry, sell it in the spike, right? And buy it in the dip, and you're good. You could just buy the card back, right? It's just you got to get into that whole mentality. And then buying multiples is another thing that he preaches. Buy, instead of buying one card, just buy 5 of them, and sell 3 when you think it's the best time. Get your money, and then you have 1 or 2, in the hopper ready to sell, or you could keep 1 and sell the last one just in case it continues to go up and you really get to see some more, margin profits and stuff. So what else? Watches trends. Oh yeah, Neo, he watches trends closely. He looks at future. He's big into graphs and market movers and stuff like that. So there was one video. I mean, he has a lot of videos that are really good. It's just, looking at how the price for Hall of Famers already baked in. Sell the card before they get inducted. Sell the card because it's going to go down. Sell the card, before the accomplishment happens. And that's something that Sports Card Investor also has mentioned. So that's Neo. All right, number 7, Sasha T. If you don't know who Sasha T is, he sells these huge valued big cards. He flips them. You're talking, bro, 20,000, 30,000, 50K, 70K cards. And he does it on the regular. Definitely a cool channel to watch because you get to see the for lack of a better term, the way the 1%ers deal with flipping cards. It's just that small percent of people that are dealing with the high end cards. And also something that I've learned from him is where he goes in, he'll go and buy in bulk, low end cards. He'll buy in bulk and he'll just mark it up 10% for a quick flip. He's like, but he makes his money because he bought so much of it. Obviously, he has a large bankroll, but if you could get to that point, that's where he's like, he says, leave meat on the bone, so that way you have a good relationship with the person that you're trading with, and then you make money and they make money, and you can continue, like a working relationship, and everybody's happy. It's not about taking the whole pie, there's plenty of profit for everybody. So, I thought that was interesting, and how he'll go and buy a bunch of cards, a whole table if necessary, and then he'll buy, for argument's sake, let's just say he'll just, spend $1,000. Obviously, it's going to be more than that, but and then he'll just mark it up 10%. That's it, and he'll turn around and sell it in bulk just at a 10% margin just to get rid of it and move it, and he'll do it, in a weekend. He'll buy it Friday and the whole thing will be sold by Sunday. He'll go to, Burbank or wherever and sell it at a card shop just at a minimal profit. Okay, moving on. So, that's another thing that Sasha T does is he looks at future. Man, he's been talking about soccer from a year ago. He's talking about soccer. You got to be prepared because of the World Cup and just, just different things he'll mention. And it's like, if you got to pay close attention to the things he says, because there's a lot of gems and there are a lot of nuggets. Okay, baseball card collector dealers, another one. When I first came across this channel, I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is monotone, super hard to listen for me. Maybe if I'm going to go to sleep, I'll listen to it. But he grew on me. This channel, he buys collections of cards and he'll go and resell them, and he talks about his margin. He'll be completely transparent. He'll say how much he paid for the whole collection, how much he made profit, how long it took him. It's very interesting. He talks about nightmare deals, great deals. where he went wrong, bad decisions, good decisions. It's really good. It's interesting. I love storytelling, so I get engrossed in the story of what happened, the incident. You know, him driving 2 hours for a deal, 4 hours for a deal, and the guy did this and the guy did that, and rebutted with this, and then or he went to buy a collection. He was going through and he was like, "Oh man, this is a great deal," and somebody else showed up. So and now he's got to haggle with them or split the deal with them. Phenomenal information, super cool. It's kind of like the History Channel of sports cards. You know what I mean? Like it's a documentary of buying sport card collections. Definitely love it. Don't, he may not be as animated as maybe me or whoever else, but the content, the information, once you get into his rhythm, bro, it is on point. It is phenomenal. It's definitely very entertaining. And then number 9, Retro Hoop Collectibles. Cool talk. He does a lot of talking, just laid back. Let's talk about the hobby. He talks about slab talk. Again, this is Retro Hoop Collectibles. Slab talk, a lot of slab talk. He talks about PSA. And something I learned from this channel was how he submitted, or was it someone else? No, it was someone else that he was talking about, that they submitted a bunch of cards to PSA. I think, I don't know, whatever, 100 cards, something ridiculous. And PSA didn't even grade, but charged a large percent of it. Guys, I don't want to make up the numbers, but it was, a big portion. And then, but beyond that, the PSA gave really bad grades. And then the reason why they didn't give grade certain cards, those large chunk of cards, they were saying that it's been altered, and these cards were like not altered at all, like perfect cards and whatnot. And it just opened up my eyes to a lot of things that's going on right now with PSA and just grading and the slab game. So I really enjoy that content that he has with this about slabs, because it's so popular in the hobby. And if you're not in the slab game, man, it seems like you're missing out. It's like you have to be in the slab game. I just submitted a bunch of cards to PGX to get slabbed. So okay, number 10, Flipping Steve. It's a cool channel, and he has a lot of cool content where he's laid back, talks about the hobby. I think that it's a channel where I kind of like. I feel like, I'm going to sip on a beer and just enjoy what he has to say. It's kind of like I'm just hanging out with my buddy, and I'm just just listening in, and he shows what he's buying, what he's doing. He just seems real, like a real just person, like somebody who I would hang out with, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but definitely look out for that channel. And there is another channel that I want to mention, but man, I couldn't find in my list, and I couldn't find, and I couldn't remember the name. Goodness gracious, I feel horrible, but what I'm gonna do is I just can't find it. I just can't find it. You know what? Hold on. And it's gonna be worth the honorable mention. This will be number 11 here. Okay, and okay, so where are you? Man, I couldn't. Oh, there it is. I got it. Okay, here it is. The Personal Finance Dad. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. This is the number 11. Okay, so number 11 is Personal Finance Dad. He talks about the hobby. He also collects graded games, which he has a second channel for that. He talks about, he has a weekly show called Off Centered that he has with the comeback card investor, the funny guy I was telling you about. they have a show together, and when they went to a card show, the funny YouTuber Brad, he goes and puts a puts a like a note on his back, and he's walking around. So the personal finance dad is walking around with Dustin is walking around. Dude, you just gotta watch it. You gotta watch all these channels, all of these channels. The number 11 is the personal finance dad. Super cool. He's another guy that seems super laid back, super chill. Somebody who I would love to just hang out with. Really nice. He seems like a really nice, down to earth guy, family guy. And whatnot. His kid, he'll say, stuff and say, look, my kids wanted me to say that or what have you, but it keeps it real because I have kids and I get it. That, they want to be called Megatron and, Snake Eyes and, Dad, call me this and call me that, or, they make me do silly things. So when he does that, I'm like, yeah, I know what that's like. Anyway, so those are the 11. Please, I'm going to go through one last time. I'm just going to say the names. Sports Card Investor, that's the Market Movers also, so it's 2 channels, Market Movers. The Mangini Collection, Sports Card Daily, that's with Ziggy. The Comeback Card Investor. Number 5 is Sports Card Anonymous. Number 6 is Neo, Northeast Ohio. 7 is Sasha T. Number 8 is Baseball Card Collector Dealer. And number 9 is Retro Hoop Collectibles. Number 10 is Flipping Steve. And number 11 is the Personal Finance Dad. And all these channels are huge. I'm going to ask for a possible interview with all of them. I'm going to ask all of them. I would love to interview these guys and just ask them, how did they get into the hobby? What are their passions besides because they don't talk about that. Like, what do you like to do when you're not, come on, you're not going to do collecting cards, every day, like, what do you do for fun besides collecting cards? What is your favorite card? What is your favorite sport? What is the first card you ever bought? What is the craziest pull you ever had from a break? Do you break, wax or, rip wax? Just those questions that I'm just curious about myself that they really don't, talk about. I want to know, talk about them, because I watch them all day. I got YouTube playing all day while I'm working and whatnot. So, if you do find these channels and you start watching them, please let them know in a comment. Hey, Big Card referred me, and because like I said, I'm going to be asking these guys for an interview, and hopefully they say yes. And if you tell them, hey, I found you because of this channel, Big Card, they'll be more apt to agree to the interview. And then like that, you get to see the interview too and find out all this information about them. So all right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And really, this video is important if you're into the hobby. These channels will definitely bring your game to the next level. But even beyond that, it'll be entertaining. It'll more content for you to consume and learn from. And having different perspectives is a good idea. If you like this, please let me know if you want me to do one for comics, because I have a list of shows that I watch or YouTube channels that I watch for comic books. All right.